Hello and welcome to another episode of The List, Bro, here as a YouTube exclusive for the podcast Wrestling Society. I am your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, Troy Adams. And with me today, he is the Tony Atlas to my Rocky Johnson. He is Greg. What up, Greg? Oh, man. I said Johnson.
I had to do that laugh. It was.
Oh, well, yeah, that. Of all the things that man has done in his career, that's what people will remember him for. So pathetic.
Hey, how apropos this list today? Because he's on my list.
Are you serious?
Hell no.
I was gonna say, what the hell were you smoking?
Are you telling me Saba Simba didn't tell a good story?
Oh, hell yeah, man. He told a story, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen and brand new subscribers, thank you for joining us on another YouTube exclusive video. And please tell your friends, tell your family, tell the weird dude at the end of the hall from you in the apartment building, and tell weird naked guy who lives across the street. I don't care. Just let them know you got to subscribe and tick the little bell to stay notified of more content each and every week. And of course, this week, Kyle and I will also be coming at you with our TLC predictions. So watch out for that, bros and broettes. Are you ready to dive into a list, bro?
Yeah. This should be a fun one, actually. It won't be a depressing one. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's hit it then. Some wrestlers are fantastic workers, but there's something to be said for an artist in the ring, someone who can paint a picture on the canvas during their matches and at the same time write chapters to a book between the ropes is a fantastic thing when you see it. Wrestlers who are able to do this, are truly superstars who help us all get highly invested into everything that they do and help us to feel. We're covering the best of the best when it comes to all that today as we list the top 10 in-ring storytellers. Are you ready, Greg?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, bro. Let's hit it. It's time for The List, Bro. And I believe you went first last week, so I guess it's my turn to go first this week. So
Do it.
Let's do it, bros. All right. Well, number 10, I said Rowdy Roddy Piper. I always got invested into his matches, and he always seemed to draw me in, and I always knew what he wanted, what he was going for, and what the hell was going on in the feud or match or whatever that he was going on with. So that's a big caveat I had. Number 9, some of the marks may get pretty upset with me putting him above Roddy Piper on my list, but I don't care. I said Triple H.
Oh, man.
I'm getting a letter.
You are.
Well, I mean, Triple H is this... Yeah, sure. Sometimes he was slow, considered slow and boring. But other times, I mean...
you might say cerebral.
Yeah. That was always, whenever the match got really boring, he's the cerebral assassin. He's really getting in their head now. But, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I was entertained by him. And he really knew how to get heat with controlling the match. And there's something to be said for that. And he studied the best of the best, some of whom, or at least one of whom, is a little higher on my list. Number 8, I said the Olympic hero Kurt Angle. He took some unnecessary...
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. He took some unnecessary risks throughout the years, like
pills?
Wow. Well, I wasn't going to say that. I'm talking about in-ring risks.
I had to say it, sorry.
Good Lord.
I still love the guy. Yes, it was right there. I had to. Anyone who knows me knows I had to.
Oh, right effing there. Anyway, sorry. But seriously, he's great. We all know that. But do you remember that time he went for a 450 in TNA and ended up doing like a 360 stomp to Sting's chest instead?
I do. Oh.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, he didn't have to do that kind of crazy stuff, but he did, and it was all for the sake of the fans. And he still does tell some pretty compelling stories in the ring. And I hope he's got one more left in him. And when I say that, I mean one more, no more than one, because he's looking some worse for wear. Number 7, probably the youngest guy I've got on my entire list. I said Daniel Bryan.
No.
What do you mean no?
Never mind.
I know what you're getting at. But anyway, had to put him on the list. Like I said, he's the youngest guy on this list, and every single match I'm drawn in. That match he had recently with Brock Lesnar, even. Great story in that match, and it got you invested in it, and it made you think for a second, maybe he could win. And then you get snapped back to reality, and it's like, never mind. But he made you believe, and that's what it's all about.
He made me believe.
My God. Moving on quickly.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead to my list. Sorry.
Oh, my God. Moving on. Number 6, I said Chris Jericho, who is now the new Mark fan favorite.
I mean, now.
Well, I mean, I've always loved Chris Jericho. He's never been like one of my all-time favorites, but recently that has changed just because he's shown how great he is at just repackaging himself over and over to keep fresh. He's great in almost everything he does. And I mean, if people can't say that they've gotten invested in his matches in the past, no matter what he's doing, then they're lying. Great worker, whether, there's a gimmick thrown in the match or not. Speaking of gimmicks, number 5, I said The Undertaker. He's a little bit of a different storyteller than everybody else I've got on my list, but he's kept it realistic, not so realistic, and just outright silly throughout the years. But he's always told a great story one way or another, in my opinion. And wow. And he's my all-time favorite wrestler forever and ever. Number 4, this was a guy I said my number 9 looked up to, and what better person to look up to? I said Ric Flair. Woo!
Space Mountain was a story.
Oh yeah. He told a lot of great stories, whether in the ring or in the bedroom, I assume, but he told some good stories. And the only problem I had with him, why I got him a little lower on my list than maybe others, is because he tended to tell the same story over and over and over in his matches. He was good, and it worked, but a lot of people have said, they're like, hey, Flair's great, but if you've seen one Flair match, you've seen them all.
True.
He's taken the same bumps in the same way and whatever. Even that infamous match he had with Sting at Starrcade that was, supposed to be Sting's coming out party, they had the same match 3 times in one match. So
that's true.
Because halfway through, I was like, didn't they do the same sequence, like, in the same order just like 5 minutes ago? But he was great. He drew a lot of money. Didn't draw a dime. He drew a lot of dimes. But
0 dimes.
Wow. Don't even bring that up. No, just no. You're getting ahead to your list again. Number 3. This may come as a surprise to some people, but if you think about it, he belongs here. Number 3, I said Steve Austin. I mean,
here is a story, I guess.
Wow. Just look at some of the matches he's had throughout the years. Even going back to his WCW days, he was great. I mean, look at his matches with like Ricky Steamboat and others. It just fantastic stuff in a different way. But I think he evolved as Stone Cold, and I always loved Stone Cold matches. And, of course, everybody points to his WrestleMania 13 match with Bret Hart. Number 12, I said the Hart...
Number 12.
Or number 2, I said...
Where are we?
I'm lost. I don't know. Number 2, I said the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Maybe the best.
Maybe, but not on my list. Bro, he told fantastic stories in every single match, no matter who he was with, no matter who he faced. Him and The Undertaker, him and Bret Hart, him and Steve Austin, him and Triple H. The list goes on and on and on and on. Fantastic worker, possibly the best of all time. He's definitely every list. He's either 1 or 2. It's always him and Flair battling it out for the greatest of all time. So, and I was always more entertained by Shawn Michaels, I will say.
Yeah, me too.
And then number 1, I said Bret the Hitman Hart. His matches were always, everybody, points out, they're like, well, he had the 5 moves of doom just like Cena. It's like, yeah, but I mean, I was always like glued to my screen for a Bret Hart match. I was always heavily invested in whatever he was doing with whoever it was. With Roddy Piper, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, Undertaker, Diesel, freaking Diesel, dude. Like, the list goes on. He was great. Even his stuff with Jerry Lawler, which wasn't my favorite, but he told great stories, and he's one of the...
yeah, what a great story. Shoving his foot in Jerry Lawler's mouth.
Hey, that was the
Amazing
best story. That was the best, all right? You watch your mouth. And that was one of your favorite match types, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was definitely on there.
Kiss my foot/ass. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart.
It's highly debatable, but whatever.
Hey, and it's not debatable to him, all right? Everybody else, 4 out of 10. All right. Well, that's my list, broski. What you got cooking?
My list is really similar to yours, actually.
Well,
They're differently placed, but...
Well, before you go, of course, we've got to hit the air horn, bro.
Oh, man.
All right, let's hear the list.
Well, obviously, I'm going to start with Robbie E. after that.
Oh, yeah, he told great stories, flopping like a fish whenever he sold. Sell like a
bro. Number 10, I said Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, he was hard to keep off my list, but yeah, he's right up there, definitely in the conversation. I
always thought he was better than Bret, but that was my thing.
How dare you SOB? Yeah, he was great. He's one of those, and Bruce Pritchard has talked about this with like Dolph Ziggler and Christian. It's like he's cursed with being a great worker. He's always the guy that goes out there and makes the champ look like $1 million, but he's never the champ.
Christian was the champ, so
he was, but do we really consider that like a title run?
Well, his world title run was his best one ever in WWE.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. Nobody will remember him for being a 2-time world heavyweight champion. They'll remember him for one more match.
It's funny you said Ziggler because he was my number 9, actually.
Yeah, unsung friggin' heroes. So far you have the 2 guys that are always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yep.
And yes, I realize Ziggler was a world heavyweight champion, but who the hell remembers that?
Couple people.
Yeah, handful of it. And the crowd exploded for it, and then it was gone forever, bro.
Next I said The Undertaker.
Yes.
Because,
even one of the greatest of all time. And even when he was the biker, when he should have changed his name to Mark Calloway. Sorry, inside joke. But yeah, even then, he had fantastic matches and told just great stories. The stuff with him and Kane wasn't exactly like his best work, but it was still good. I mean, like, he did great stuff.
It was good. Not bad. Good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't trash, but it was, it was, hell, it was not him versus King Kong Bundy, I'll say that.
Next, I said DDP.
Man, I didn't even think about him, but you're freaking right. The dude scripted his matches, like, in hardcore detail.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because next I said Macho Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, Macho Man was apparently the one that got DDP to start doing that.
Yeah. So.
And what was
kinda go
funny,
hand in hand.
what was funny was DDP. That's what got him heat with The Undertaker and got him buried in the WWE, which is sad,
Oh.
but
Maybe you try to go too old school with it.
yeah. And obviously the scripting worked because you've seen those matches between those guys. It's just fantastic stuff that will live on forever. Forever, bro.
Man.
Got it in.
Next, I said Shawn Michaels.
The Heartbreak
that's-
Kid.
That's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Goes without saying, yeah. One of the greatest of all time.
Also, I said just another one that's on your list. The rest are on your list, I believe. I said Triple H next.
The Game. They call him the Cerebral Assassin for a reason, bro.
Daniel Bryan.
Man, you have him hella high on your list, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he's one of the best ever.
I agree. I think he's going to... I really, really hope he has a fantastic WWE title run this time around. Because right now, his greatest title run ever was when he was the World Heavyweight Champion. Ironically enough, when he was a heel.
He's a heel, bro.
He's a heel!
My number 2 was Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Surprised you didn't put him on your list.
Yeah. He's one of my favorites of all freaking time. Yeah, he deserves... I kind of regret not putting him on my list now.
And then my number 1 is Kurt Angle. I just think he is the best ever.
He's definitely in that conversation. For some reason, he's not talked about as much as Michaels and Flair. Maybe it's because he spent so much time in TNA.
Yeah. He's also like an actual 100% legit wrestler. So.
Oh, yeah. And even look at his stuff he did when he had that MMA-style match with Samoa Joe at Lockdown. You remember that?
Yep.
That was fantastic, and he switched styles on a dime. That right there shows how great the frickin' guy is. I mean, among other things. But, yeah, so, great list, bro. For all of you that agreed or disagreed with our lists or just had some comments or whatever, definitely comment down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the little bell down there to stay notified about all of our more content on YouTube. And, of course, follow the podcast.
Subscribe so we can get that custom URL.
Yeah, because if we hit 100 subscribers, we get that custom URL. We have tons of followers on Twitter, which is our top followed social media. We have quite a few on Instagram. Definitely head over to the Facebook page as well. The handle is the same, Podrest Society. Like the Facebook page. We don't have nearly as many followers on Facebook, and we try to keep up with that. If we had more, I might keep up with it a little more. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, next...
Oh, Facebook's dying, bro. It's going to be gone forever one day.
Wow. Well, that's what you get hanging around all them Twitterers all day long. What are they? Is it Twitterers or Twatters? I don't know. One of them.
Tweeters, I believe.
I'm sticking with Twatters. That's what I'm going with, all right?
I'm not. Not me. Not Greg. Didn't say that. Not me.
I guess you can hit me up on Twitter or can't. I don't know. It depends on if my account's suspended after this. But anyway, next week, the list, bro, is the top 10 best built feuds of all time.
Oh, man. I remember that historical one between Naked Mideon and William Regal.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, what about Mankind and... or no, I'm sorry. No, not Mankind. It was Bob Holly and Al Snow with the penis suplex.
Yes.
The original penis suplex before Joey Ryan was even a thing, bro. I said thing and Joey Ryan. But anyway.
I know you didn't like him.
I do not, but he's still a thing. Regardless, that is the list next week. Should be fun. And then speaking of fun, we're going to do a fun thing on Instagram and Twitter for the next list. I'm going to put it up now so that we have plenty of time for y'all to vote on it. It is going to be you guys voting on what our next list will be, because I've got a list of lists, bro. And you guys will vote between, not for next week, but the next week, if we will do the top 10 wrestling returns, the top 10 forgettable title reigns of WWE, the top 10 forgettable title reigns of WCW, or the top 5 Chris Jericho gimmicks.
Wow. Top 5. Isn't Jericho just one gimmick?
He's changed so many times throughout the years. There's Lionheart Chris Jericho. There's the Y2J Chris Jericho. There's King of the World Chris Jericho. There's...
You may have just given them all away and ruined the whole list right there.
There's a ton of them. There's so many that I can't even... There's Mute Chris Jericho. That's the best. That's the list,
bro. That
one
still ticks me off.
What are you talking about? That was I can't even talk to you right now, Greg. God.
Yeah, well, I get it. You're living the gimmick. You can't talk. Got it.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to put that up to a vote, and you all pick it, bros and broettes. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
But of course.
And definitely check out the podcast, whether you're checking it out on Whooshka, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, whatever. We're on a ton of stuff right now, and I'm trying to archive it on YouTube. Thank you all. Peace out.
Later.
Thanks for watching this YouTube exclusive video for the podcast Wrestling Society. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're picking up what we're throwing down. And of course, we always welcome feedback in the comments section down below. And if you want to keep up with the weekly podcast that drops every Wednesday, links to the show page are in the description down below, along with our social media handles and our associates pages. Come on and join the society.